My name is Aleksandra Łukaszewicz and I'm a professor in cultural studies working at Academy of Art in Szczecin, Poland, that is an artistic university focused on visual and musical arts together. Apart of this, I'm also a president of Polish Society for Aesthetics that I'm representing here now with the KUTV projects during the secondment at KUTV University. My area of study is quite broad. Although my background is as a philosopher. Philosopher mostly specialized in art and aesthetics, although I was also brought into the philosophy of language, and always the social perspective is very important for me in all the considerations. As the president of Polish Society of Aesthetics, I am representing a broad range of specialists that are working on art and aesthetics. That is not just the pure beauty, but this is about this, what is experienced through senses as valuable, positively or negatively. So then it is of our big interest to investigate what are the changes when we are thinking about passing from one reality to another, like from physical reality to different kinds of hybrid realities. How does the experience is changing of a human, of an individual, but also of a community? And what are the transformations of possible social bonds within new kinds of environments? My private research involves a lot of these technological issues. And my habilitation thesis that was published with Palgrave Macmillan in 2021 is dedicated to cyborg persons. There I'm introducing the concept that maybe it is better to think not about a human versus other kinds of beings, but about human person. So focusing on the notion of person, because then we can think about different kinds of persons that can be animal persons, cyborg persons, or different kind of persons. And there are already such examples. Orangutans in Argentina or dolphins in India are considered legally as non-human persons. And there are also existing persons with technical implants that are changing their forms of perception, communication and understanding of the world, like Neil Harbison, who has got antenna implanted into his skull, allowing him to hear colors and light frequency in bone conduction, but that doesn't consider himself anymore a human, but a cyborg. And he has got even a passport photo, British passport, with antenna. It was recognized that it is not a device, but an integral body part. So then maybe it is better to think through the notion of persons. Then we can think about different kind of persons, and think how we can communicate better, how we can cooperate better, not creating contradictions, saying us and they, what can bring problems, but thinking about common solutions. So this was my habilitation book, and this I develop still in a way within the KUTV project in this topic that I'm working on, that is on ethical dimension that we should consider while experiencing the transformation of the reality. Yeah. I am working, as I mentioned, at Academy of Art in Szczecin, but I am not representing this university here now. I am representing Polish Society for Aesthetics, of which I am a president. My academy, yes, has supported me a lot in other projects that I'm working on, also in cooperation with Kenya. And for example, here it is the TPAE project, Transcultural Perspectives in Art and Art Education, that is already going to its end soon. Maybe it is not soon, maybe it is relatively soon. It ends in May 2024. So we have got one more year, and there is Kenyatta University on board and Pwani University on board. Now there are also some lecturers from Academy of Art in Szczecin giving master classes, mostly in music, but also in fashion photography, to Kenyatta University students, having some presentation and additional concerts. And it is also happening now, the preparation for the Duos Festival at the coast in Kilifi and Mombasa, with a final that is going to take place 1st to 4th of March. And it is Polish-Kenyan Contemporary Art Festival in different areas. It is not just visual art, musical arts, there are sculpture, installation, different kinds of works. So this project I am leading on behalf of Academy of Art in Szczecin, although now I'm just from the distance managing my people. And yes, my academy supported me to create this project, to apply to European Union, to form the consortium and to realize the work, allowing me to travel when necessarily, giving classes online, because I don't stop working. Now we have got a break, so it is a nice surprise in this case, but usually I'm teaching online. I have gotten the permission from the side of my institution to give classes that are theoretical lectures to my students online.
You've touched a bit on the current state of one of the projects you're doing. Maybe just take us back to how it started and then the other projects that you've also been involved in.
Maybe I will start even earlier. I've started cooperating with Kenya in 2018, still in the first project. Also, I was managing it. It was TICAS, Technologies of Imagining in Communication, Art and Social Sciences, where we were investigating visual communication in urban public spaces in different countries and on different continents, thinking about visual literacy in transcultural perspective and elaborating workshops for these and creating recommendations for teaching media art and design. Then we were working at the beginning with one university from South Africa, but we were experiencing challenges. And they decided to withdraw, and then I found a partner from Kenya, and it was Pwani University first, with whom we started to cooperate. And from this first project, I noticed with my colleagues, team members, that there is a lot of work to be done here, the work that we would like to do and participate with. And this refers mostly to the development of the area of arts here in Kenya that are very interesting but are becoming really contemporary in the last years, what is very interesting for the research. But then we decided also that we need to do something specific, not just research. It is interesting, of course, but, you know, to give an input. So then I wrote another project, this TPAE, Transcultural Perspectives in Art and Art Education, within which we have prepared an international and interdisciplinary team the curriculums for art and design on diploma and bachelor's degree level to be implemented hopefully at last this September at Poani University. And I think that it is important because up till now there is no art education on the coast, and it would be the first. And it wasn't just, you know, Mzungu people writing it. It wasn't just one team. It was important for us to have, again, international, interdisciplinary team preparing these curriculums. So that to include experience and competences of various partners and to make it first not the same as a KU, to create some variation, but also to give important focus on the traditional African Kenyan art and how it can be transformed more directly, I would say, to contemporary art without passing all the history of European or Western art. What is interesting is a kind of historical overview, but maybe not the best path to pursue in artistic creation. It is more important to find one's own way. Yes? So these programs were supposed to be implemented last year, but to say truth, 2 years ago. But first it was COVID, then there were some challenges on the side of university, and hopefully now they will start. And a part of this, we are having this Duos Festival, Polish-Kenyan Contemporary Art Festival. And this is a very specific kind of event, maybe not that common, because it is not the festival on the big stage ticketed for 1 or 2 or 3 days. But it is like that Polish and Kenyan artists are working together, and there are like 8 couples, you know, of these kinds of artists in different fields, like in installation, photography, painting, ceramics, textiles, photography, film, public art, or art in public space. And they are working also together with a small group of students, either from Poani University or from Technical University of Mombasa, up to 5. So there is some sharing of the knowledge from the artists to the students, and they are working within the community, like in different spots. And also usually they were exhibiting the final effects of their work also in a site-specific mode, because it is important to us to show to the community what is this art, to work towards hiring the status of the artist. But now we have got the 3rd and last edition within the project, and it will be more centralized a bit. So one presentation will be in Mombasa, and the other at the football field in front of governor's office, you know, in the central point of Kilifi. So, because we want to summarize our effects. But it's not only this that we are coming here and doing some work, having fun and exhibiting things, but we are also giving the possibility of Kenyan artists to travel to Poland and prepare together with Polish artists the art exhibition at National Museum in Poland, in Szczecin. We had already 2 exhibitions of this kind after 2 first editions. First was on the community, then on women power, and the current edition is on social ecology. And a part of this, because of course it's not the end, we are supporting Kenyatta University, especially in capacity building, giving some trainings, master classes to the students in different fields of expertise within the arts. So like working with these 4 departments of the former School of Creative and Performing Arts, Film and Media Studies, with the Dance and Music Department, Fashion and Design, Film and Media Studies, and Fine Arts department. The first person that will defend the PhD thesis at Academy of Art in Szczecin, Poland, it will be Anne Muiti from Fine Arts department. Maybe this fall, the latest spring next year. The CAFI project was created between Jagiellonian University and Polish Society of Aesthetics that are collaborating very closely since years. Since generally the society was established 20 years ago, 21 for now. And so Professor Jakub Petri, Professor Michał Ostrowicki, Dr. Ewa Chudoba, me, and Dr. Bogna Gladen-Obiedzińska, we were kind of the major team working for the preparation of the application. So I didn't join from the outside, I joined from the inside. But later we decided, of course, that it is much better that Jagiellonian University will be the main coordinator for the consortium, as it is a great institution with a long tradition and big administration that will allow us, that allows for now to coordinate then partners. This is not something that society, NGO even with 20 years of history can manage. Maybe you notice there is some connection between my previous work, like within the habilitation thesis on cyborg persons, and current research on ethical perspective in construing VR environments. So this, what I'm bringing to the table, is focus on ethical considerations when we are thinking of the social transformation we are experiencing. Social and technological. I am not very hype, I'm not like promoting to go VR or to go cyborg. This is rather that I'm observing that certain things are happening. And the only thing I think that I can do is try to contribute to this, what is happening, that it is maybe a bit more just, a bit better, you know, to consider some things, how to manage this development that I cannot stop. So this is not about promoting going VR, but if we are going VR, if we are going cyber, we have to think about our ethical approach, how we will relate to another beings that are maybe not fully Homo sapiens, but with us, within the society. We have got already these examples. Also, Sophie can be mentioned, the android that was created by Hanson's Robotics and is recognized as a citizen of Saudi Arabia. So there are already these cases, and our societies will transform. But also about this, what kind of rules, values should be implemented in this new technologically defined environments. And this is not something that many people are thinking of. being excited with the possibilities, with technological possibilities, what we can do, how we can do, about applications of this technology. And this is, of course, very interesting, yes? But jumping on it, we should also have a moment to step back and consider, you know, this kind of ethical and moral approach that we are taking up, because then it will later help us to make moral decisions. Yes. I came up to this topic from two sides, from a more theoretical side and from practical side, what I tried to present during the symposium addressing this top-down and bottom-up perspectives. So I spotted two sets of perspectives that are most engaged in this kind of consideration that I'm bringing to the table, ethical one. And this is Christian perspective and humanistic perspective. And I get to know about them during various conferences in which I'm participating in the field of post-human and transhuman studies, thinking about this technological future that is awaiting us. And here, my mobilities to Kenya helped me a lot. And during this mobility, but also last in November and the previous ones, I get to know a lot of interesting people, startups and companies working with the development and VR development. And some of their owners, really, like Brian Afande from Black Rhino VR, expressing explicitly their ethical approach on the basis of which they are taking up moral decisions. That is very interesting and coherent, and is not coming from accepting theoretical consideration, but is kind of natural move that can be observed within the research. Through the research, there is no for now exact solution. There is rather a call to not just go only commercial and excited about technology, but think about long-term effects of going to different kind of realities, of transforming these realities, and think how we should, having in mind this long run, how we should guide our path in order not to be later maybe too much controlled or only being in VR for services and buying goods, but thinking that maybe it is not that real and abusing the others. And although we meet the avatars, not physical bodies, but there are people behind, you know, with their feelings and emotions and consciousness, and this is what we are doing in different kind of reality. It is also real. So this is the kind of, you know, call for ethical consideration is coming up from my research up till now. But there are also another things that are upcoming from it, of course. There are different kind of challenges that one experiences while realizing projects, and generally you can divide them into internal ones that are emerging within the consortium, and the external ones that are from the, you know, external world, like COVID pandemics. That delayed the realization of GPAE, caused the need to amend the grant agreement, prolong the project in order to realize everything what was planned and deliver all the effects. So then you have to be flexible to the conditions, and this is possible within the EU-funded projects. They are flexible. they are oriented mostly, especially these ones, Marii Skłodowska-Curie Actions, Research and Innovation Staff Exchange, are focused on staff exchange, on knowledge sharing, and on mobilities. So then one has to realize mostly mobilities, sharing things. So this is kind of very general thing to do, but you have to be, yes, flexible to this what is upcoming, but also create spaces where can appear synergy between partners. Because in these projects you cannot, sketching them, plan all the activities that will be carried within the project's duration. Projects are running 4 years with the preparation and closing that are added to these, with the various partners and consortiums, and people are creative and bringing more things to be done. So it is not possible to plan anything. But it is not also this that each partner has to realize some things, but the most important is synergy between partners. So because of this, I'm talking about this field and area to be created. Like, for example, now during this mobility to KU, where we are nearly all together at KUCC, going to workshop, making symposium, sharing with the KU staff and students, and being together. So there is a space where we can mix, find different partnerships, and then follow them later within the project. So it is also exciting, an exciting adventure, because you don't know exactly what will happen. We have got the direction, we have got our paths of interest, but all the final results are still on the horizon. As a visiting professor, then at Fine Arts Department, working with Dr. Vikiru, I was having the lectures in history of art and culture, European art and culture. And this was very interesting experience and very rewarding, I have to say. And this is nice to hear from different lecturers and researchers from the team that they also enjoy working with the KU students, finding that they are very much engaged, very precisely listening, that one doesn't have to repeat 3 times and so forth. And this is always a balm on the heart of the professor. And now my team, Polish Society of Aesthetics, realized 2 workshops focused on creation process, exhibition and preservation of art and culture in digital spaces. It was the first one, and then on the distribution and social and political implications of this kind of transformation. And the second team that was speaking on, and there was also Professor Adrian Kwokaćka with a kind of critical voice of the people that are not that much gone VR or hybrid. And he was considering if these new technologies can create spaces in which we might feel homely, like at home. That is not something that we go and do at work, something very exciting and new, but something, like flip-flops at home and a cup of tea, yes, that we are in our space and we feel at home. Then the second team was with Dr. Joanna Szczepanik, Dr. Bogna Gladen-Obidzińska, and Eric Colton-Butler, took on board another set of issues, first on social dimension and possible political uses of AR that was very interesting and brought by Joanna Szczepanik in an example of an artwork that was a bot pretending to be a candidate in the presidential campaign 20 years ago in Poland, and also the artificial intelligence-based party in Denmark that has appeared recently. Bogna Gladen-Obidzińska was talking more on NFTs and social contracts that are possible to be elaborated in this sphere, because NFT gives possibility of changing the art market from centralized to a bit more decentralized, assuring also revenues for the artists with the later purchases that are done of their works. And yes, also Eric Colton Butler was developing more this kind of social and ethical impact of technologies. Yes, I am coming to Kenya since 2018, so I have got quite a broad experience. Although it may seem that the kind of approach I'm presenting here is a bit more theoretical than practical, but there will be practical also effects of these to art and to education. And I'm really looking forward to these. I am Professor Aleksandra Łukaszewicz, a professor in cultural studies from Academy of Art, Poland, Polish Society for Aesthetics, and this is cutting-edge research at Kenyatta University Television. Keep watching Cutting Edge Research.